There's something truly magical about stepping into a vintage Christmas living room. It feels like being wrapped in a warm hug from the past, surrounded by the glow of twinkling lights, the shimmer of retro ornaments, and that unmistakable feeling of nostalgia that only this season can bring. It's the kind of room that instantly takes you back to simpler times, when Christmas trees were strung with big, colorful bulbs. Ornaments had that metallic shine, and the air smelled faintly of pine and freshly baked cookies. A vintage-inspired Christmas living room isn't just a style, it's a feeling, a cozy blend of old-fashioned charm and timeless warmth that makes the season feel wonderfully familiar. Imagine walking into a room softly lit by the golden glow of string lights, each bulb casting a gentle light that dances across the walls. The Christmas tree stands proudly in the corner, dressed not in sleek, modern perfection, but in layers of character and history. Every ornament tells a story. Some may be inherited, others found at flea markets or thrift stores, each one with its own bit of charm. There are shiny glass baubles in shades of red, green, gold, and silver, the kind that catch the light just right. Maybe a few have that slightly worn look, the kind of patina that only decades of holidays can give. Then there are the classic figurine ornaments, little Santas, reindeer, snowmen, and angels with delicate faces. And of course, strands of tinsel draped over the branches, catching the light and adding that perfect dose of sparkle. The lights are what really set the mood. Instead of crisp white LEDs, it's all about the warm glow of traditional bulbs, the kind that cast a soft amber light, filling the room with that nostalgic warmth. Maybe even a strand of those old-fashioned C7 bulbs in red, green, and gold winding around the tree, giving it that unmistakable retro feel. When the lights dim and those bulbs start to glow, it feels like time slows down. The whole space takes on that cozy, magical atmosphere that makes Christmas feel both joyful and peaceful all at once. In a vintage Christmas living room, the furniture plays an important role in setting the tone. A worn-in leather sofa or a plaid armchair instantly gives the space that cozy, lived-in feeling. Drape a knit throw blanket over the back. Toss a few holiday pillows in soft tones of red and cream, and it becomes the perfect spot to curl up with a cup of cocoa. A wooden coffee table might hold a tray of candles, a few pinnacones, and maybe an old-fashioned ceramic Santa figurine or a small glass dish filled with peppermint candies. The charm comes from the mix of old and new, pieces that look like they've seen many Christmases before, paired with a few fresh touches to keep it feeling alive and personal. The fireplace, if you have one, is the natural centerpiece of this room. Stockings, maybe handmade or with a classic knitted pattern, hang from the mantel, and a garland of greenery winds its way across the top. Mixed among the pine branches could be a few vintage ornaments or small gold bells, maybe even a string of popcorn garland for that truly old-fashioned touch. A few candles flicker nearby, their light reflecting off shiny baubles and casting a soft glow that feels both festive and comforting. Above the mantel, perhaps there's a framed retro Christmas print or a vintage mirror that catches the flicker of the fire and the twinkle of the lights. What really makes this kind of space so special is the layering of textures and details. Everywhere you look, there's something to catch your eye. A cluster of mercury glass candle holders, an old record player spinning Bing Crosby's White Christmas, or a stack of well-loved holiday books on a side table. Maybe there's a bowl of dried oranges or cranberries, adding a pop of natural color. The air smells faintly of cinnamon and pine, and there's a sense of calm, like the world outside has slowed down just a bit. It's cozy in the best possible way, warm, welcoming, and filled with memories, both old and new. A vintage Christmas look doesn't have to be expensive or perfectly curated. In fact, part of its charm comes from its imperfections. Mixing mismatched ornaments, different shades of gold and red, and decor that looks collected over time makes the room feel authentic and full of character. Old lace, plaid fabrics, and wooden accents all blend beautifully with the warmth of the lights. You can even add a few retro touches, like an old ceramic Christmas tree with colored bulbs, a tinsel wreath, or a set of glass candle holders shaped like stars. It's these little nostalgic details that give the space soul. The soft glow of the warm lights is what ties everything together. They create that dreamy, golden hue that makes the whole room feel like it's bathed in candlelight. Maybe there's a strand of lights woven through the garland on the mantel, or a few wrapped around the window frame, reflecting gently on the glass. When night falls, and the only light in the room comes from the tree and a few candles, it feels like stepping into a Christmas card from decades past. You can almost hear the faint crackle of a record playing in the background and the laughter of family gathered nearby. The beauty of a vintage Christmas living room is that it's more than just decoration, it's emotion. It reminds you of the holidays you grew up with or the ones you've seen in old photos or movies. It's the scent of pine needles, the glow of the lights, the feeling of being wrapped in a blanket while snow falls softly outside. It's not about perfection, it's about warmth, nostalgia, and joy. Every little imperfection, a slightly tilted ornament, a candle burned halfway down, a mix of decorations from different eras, adds to the story the room tells. When you sit in a room like this, you can't help but feel that sense of wonder that Christmas brings. The combination of retro ornaments and warm lighting creates an atmosphere that's both comforting and magical. The metallic shimmer of an old glass ball ornament reflects the glow of the fire, while the soft hum of holiday music drifts through the room. Maybe there's a mug of cocoa in your hands, a wool blanket across your lap, and the faint sound of laughter coming from another room. It's simple, but it's perfect. As the evening winds down, the lights on the tree twinkle softly, and the room feels wrapped in peace. The vintage ornaments glisten, each one a tiny piece of history. The warm lights cast their golden glow across the room, and everything feels just right. It's the kind of moment that makes you want to pause and take it all in. The beauty, the stillness, the comforting sense that Christmas has always been, and always will be, about togetherness, warmth, and love. A vintage Christmas living room with retro ornaments and warm lights isn't just a decor choice. It's a feeling that lingers. It's about creating a space that feels timeless and heartfelt, where every detail adds to the story and every light glows with warmth. It's cozy, it's nostalgic, and it's full of that unmistakable holiday magic that never really goes out of style.